Hello, my name is Steve Capper, and many of you know me from attending my training classes. Many of you know me from being followers on YouTube. And I've been asked by several people to update several of the concepts that I have put on YouTube over the last several years. And what I'd like to do right now in March 2018 is to give a small update on what I'm going to call the 6 mistakes we're still making in the pre-sales environment at the present time. The first item that I'd like to discuss is that we're still presenting vendor solutions. We should be presenting customer solutions. We've got to understand how to present value solutions. How much money the customer's going to make, how much money they're going to solve, how to alleviate a fear, how to move into a new market. Not just availability and performance. The second item that I'd like to talk a little bit about is that we must make it almost mandatory that we begin to discover value and have process and methodology to discover value. Many of you know that I'm a great believer in asking, what's the problem? Why have you got the problem and the business value? Many pre-sales people stop at what's the problem and then jump immediately into their solution. We've got to understand to speed up the sale, slow it down, do more discovery so that eventually when we are listening and talking with the customer, it really hits their radar screen. So number 3, I think as we move forward in 2018, 2019, we must realise that many of the pre-sales people have got incredible skills. You've obviously been in the industry for a long time, and some of you have more experience than the salespeople that you're working with. So I would like you to have an equal voice in the process and the methodology that occurs inside the sales cycle. Mr. Salesman, why are we going to see this customer? They've asked for a presentation. Well, what type of presentation? What's their problems? In other words, help the salespeople understand that we can be incredibly valuable agents in the sales cycle by really asking the customer a lot more information, a lot more questions, so that we begin to hammer down and we find out exactly what they want and the value that they're looking for. Number 4 that I think we're making a mistake in is we're not taking enough advantage of the technical people inside the organisation. Imagine bringing in a professional services person at the very end of the sales cycle for 14 minutes to talk of his 2 successes in implementing the solution and the major business benefits the customer's getting, real life situations. And for Mr. Salesman to say, well, what did you think of that person? And to have the customer say, wow, he was fantastic. And for Mr. Salesman to say, if you make a decision in the next 6 weeks, that person will be on your implementation team. Almost creating what I'll call a false compelling event. Imagine the support manager being introduced to the senior management of the customer. This is how we support you. All reflecting and focusing on the way we show commitment to the customer. Number 5 is I think we need to spend a lot more time keeping in touch with the people that have purchased your solution in the past. Those are the people that know what to do, how to deliver value. Why are we doing a 3-day POC when the customer can show them exactly this is what we did and this is the benefit that we're getting and you should move as soon as possible because we actually saved over $500,000 by implementing this solution in the first 3 weeks of the implementation of that solution. So we really need to use more stories. And many of you know my concept of the desktop, the desk pocket reference. Be able to say, this is how we have made these people successful. The last point that I'd like to bring up is I think that we need to have much better process and methodology with regard to asking plan-structured questions. To go into specific discovery, even if it's discovery for 15, 20 or 40 minutes and have a specific process from minute 1 to minute 40. This is what we are going to do. This is what we are going to ask. This is how we will react. I will do this, Mr. Salesman. You will do that. And we have a process of tag team in the discovery. All designed around understanding a lot more about digging deep into some of the customer's issues. And I think that gets me down to the final concept really is we need to be a lot better at listening. And you know we listen with at least our eyes, our ears, our mouth, our body, all designed to get the customer to continue talking. All of you know about the 2 seconds of silence. All of you know about the tennis concept. It's still as valid as it was 4 or 5 years ago. So I hope this video has been a little bit of a reminder to some of you that let's think a little bit more about our role in the sales cycle, do less presentations, less demos, but when we finally do a demo or a presentation, we are delivering value so that it knocks the socks off the customer and really gets them impressed with our professionalism. I look forward to seeing you all at some stage in the future, and if you like this video, just send me an email at scapper, S-C-A-P-P-E-R @hotmail.com with any comments. So thank you very much and goodbye.